4 days and $110 billion later, Congress closed the deal. The banking system bailout that was killed in the House on Monday was padded with $110 billion in tax breaks and other measures and passed by the Senate on Wednesday. President Bush is expected to sign the bill this afternoon. It made it through the House in a do-over vote last hour by a vote of 263 to 171. At its heart is a $700 billion buyout of mortgage-backed securities that have poisoned the U.S. credit system. Well, the credit crunch and the ongoing slump in the housing market are dominating the debate on Capitol Hill and, of course, the conversations on Main Street. It seems everybody is taking a hit, not just realtors, but also plumbers, electricians, heating and air people, and the list goes on. CNN's Rusty Dornin is at a convention of home renovators right here in Atlanta. Rusty, what are you hearing there?
Well, Namwa, it's not just home renovators or construction people, as you were saying, plumbing, sanitation, kitchens, bathrooms, that sort of thing. These are the folks that were really hit in the very beginning of this whole crisis with the housing crunch. And of course, they've been very nervous about how this bailout was going to go. First off, 10,000 people attended this convention a couple of years ago. This year, only 5,000 signed up. That sort of shows you that's kind of a sign of the times. And then only 3,000 really ended up showing up because we had so many problems with the gas shortage. So not as many people as they thought. But here to tell us a little bit more about how this whole bailout bill is affecting these kinds of folks, we have Daniel McKinnon with Trade Show Management here for the, it's actually the International...
Well, it's ISH, which is in German translates to International Sanitary and Heating. So kitchen and bath, plumbing, HVAC, really.
Now, you were just saying, though, that this bill is, there are parts of it that were sweetened that are actually good for the people here. Can you tell us why?
That's correct. Well, there are some provisions that provide for new incentives for the for renewable energies and sustainable technologies, and those are things that these manufacturers are producing now and that they want to get into the hands of consumers, commercial, construction, as well as residential.
Now, some of the folks I talked to said, you know, basically construction for them has come to a halt and they've really been hurting. Can you describe what you're hearing from the folks that are here today?
Absolutely. I think that the numbers that you pointed out are reflective of the industry. You know, this show has always been a strong proponent of the manufacture and distribution of plumbing materials and HVAC technology. And when you see the great reduction in the participation that we've experienced here, you can see that people are buying and selling these products. The housing doesn't exist, so they can't sell them.
And you were saying also that just people aren't working. You know, who are the people that are not working out of this industry?
Plumbing contractors, renovators, plumbing engineers, HVAC technicians, builders.
How about in terms of credit? I mean, has it trickled down to these folks yet in terms of the credit crunch that's been happening really over the past month?
I think so. I think there's 2 points there. I think one is that these businesses can't get credit to expand and promote their products and their new technologies and their R&D. And two, if a consumer can't get a mortgage because his credit isn't a 7.5 or an 8, and he can't buy a house, then obviously he's not going to have, you know, brand new fixtures and all the requirements and infrastructures that go into a new house. So yeah, it's hurt them very bad. And if this frees up the credit issue, which I think is the primary issue right now, then it'll be good for this industry.
Do you think people were breathing a collective sigh of relief to know that this bill passed?
Yes. I think that there's no doubt, regardless of what special interests were covered in this, I think that there is a sigh of relief that this passed because everybody wants to recover and everybody wants for this to end and for our economy and our businesses to continue to prosper like they have in the past.
Okay, Daniel McKinnon, thank you very much. This trade show in Atlanta, this was the last day folks are leaving, but as you heard, really less than a third of the people that were expected to show up actually came to the show as the result of varying aspects of the economy, including, of course, the recent gas shortage in the Southeast. Namwa?
Yeah, Rusty, your guest Daniel there talked about how some of the aspects of the bailout bill are welcome, such as more incentives for alternative forms of home heating, for example. But even if the people who create those kind of technologies are able to more affordably create them, will they actually have customers?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Nama was just asking, will they even have customers? Even though you're getting these incentives through the bill, is there going to be a problem of even having customers to begin with?
Yes, I think that it will. I think that for residential issues, there is still the problem of having customers. However, commercial construction can benefit from this as well. And you can just see by looking around the city of Atlanta that there is still a great amount of building that's going up, and there is a great amount of construction. And these incentives provide the builders, the plumbers, everybody involved in the whole the infrastructure and the whole construction process benefit.
Is it an immediate thing, though? I mean, is it something that just takes a while, or is it going to be months before they're going to be able to feel good about it, or is this something that people can are going to be able to put it down?
It definitely takes a while. These technologies are more expensive. It takes a while for them to be introduced into a construction project, and it really starts with people that are specifying, like the architects and the builders. They have to accept these new technologies and start using them in their plans and their programs.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you very much, Daniel McKenna. Namwa, as I said before, I think people here breathing a collective sigh of relief that this bailout bill was passed, but certainly tough times not over for people who, many of the people here who just are not getting the work, they're not getting the work orders because people are having a tough time in the housing market. Namwa?
Absolutely, yeah, no overnight relief for anybody. Well, Rusty, thank you very much. We really appreciate you joining us. That's Rusty Dornan live for us in Atlanta.